Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Friday afternoons with SketchUp. It's SketchUp Live. It's Friday. It's SketchUp Live Day. I'm psyched. We got a great stream for you today. 2 people modeling at once. Oh my gosh. Um, and so yeah, I'm here. I'm Matt. I'm the co-host. I'm not modeling, but with me modeling today are Aaron and Justin.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Yeah, it's going to be a very special stream today because it is the first of its kind. We've never done anything like this before. Well, we sort of have, where we had like a relay when we were all in the office together, but this is all remote. This is, bringing the technology together in order to facilitate hopefully a more interesting and educational and entertaining stream for all of you out there. So, yeah,
it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, definitely entertaining,
if nothing else.
Yeah, totally.
And I want to say, I don't want to curse anything, but hopefully higher quality than say what happened 1 week ago.
Yeah, we don't want it to be the level of quality where we have to take the video down off YouTube after it's after it's been posted. So yeah, this time we'll strive for better. We're all hooked in on the hard lines on internet, so we should hopefully be streaming to you in full HD quality and no lag. So yeah, quality. Hey, quality video, AV, quality content, guaranteed. Yeah, so today's
that's
a guarantee.
Matt. Let's put that on a shirt.
Guarantee it.
Let's do it. Yeah, so today we guarantee that we're going to have a modeling session where Aaron and Justin are going to be modeling simultaneously on 2 different but related models. So if you did catch the stream last week, we were participating, Aaron was, in the Design Sprint Challenge, which I will add a QR code on the screen for you to scan and get the details of. So the Design Sprint Challenge is a challenge that the SketchUp team is putting on, where you're kind of envisioning the future. SketchUp is 25 years old, so what's design going to be like in 25 years? In the year 2050, what do you envision, sustainability, accessibility, and design in general are going to be like? We have some restrictions, though. You're not just, blue sky doing anything you want. It has to be within 500 square feet. That is a key. I was going to say limitation. Yeah, it's a requirement. Yeah.
An opportunity.
That's right. Yeah. Bring all your crazy ideas down into this 500 square foot area, and also do it in 1 hour, 60 minutes. So those are the kind of the general idea of taking the challenge. And then if you win, if you're selected by the jury of judges, which I don't believe any of us are on, but you win a $5,000 US dollar prize and a year studio subscription. So that is a great incentive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For anybody.
I mean, think about how much you can model with a year-long studio subscription. You can model every single day, every single hour, every day.
Beautiful.
And you'll actually make money from it too. I mean,
yeah.
That $5,000 could be spread out over the year. It's win-win-win. Hello.
You can use the $5,000 for coffee, and then you can use the studio subscription to make even more money, and therefore more coffee.
There you go. We're just kicking off a whole new business for you here. Come get it. To that point, though, we did have this question last year. You don't have to be a design professional to participate. All you have to do is be a SketchUp user. This thing does have to be created start to finish inside of SketchUp. But other than that, anyone's welcome. It can be, you can just model from scratch, or you can work from some amazing existing templates to start from. So we actually have 3 templates: an indoor, an exterior, and a landscape. I'm heating up, guys. I'm getting pumped, and
He's heating up.
Okay, sorry. Let me cool back down.
Bring it down.
Yeah. But so I was gonna say, we have these awesome templates. You guys saw one of them last week, but Justin actually created these templates. So
That's right.
We want to just buzz through these templates real quick, kind of let you see what they are and see where you could be working from. And then Justin and I are going to walk through what we're thinking for these models. And then we're going to do it. We're going to start a timer, and Justin and I are going to model for an hour. Matt's going to hop back and forth, show what we're doing. And it's going to be awesome. I mean, I don't know what else it could possibly be.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Yeah.
Just incredible.
But yeah, wonderful segue. I have the 3 templates up on my screen here that I had the pleasure of creating. Thanks, Matt. But yeah, I mean, when I was asked to create these 3 templates, I think the first thing that I ran into was just the realization that 500 square feet is way, way smaller than you think it is. It's one of those things where, like, typically when I start a model, the first thing that I do is remove TomTom, which I love TomTom, but the first thing I do is typically remove the scale figure. But in this instance, I felt that I had to keep it in just to remind myself how small this space really is. Because, you know, I mean,
that's why
500, it seems like a big number, but it's really not. I mean, it's the size of a living room, basically.
Yeah, we had a question about, is it 500 feet square or 500 square feet? It's 500 square feet, meaning 25 by 25 or whatever.
20.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
25 by 20.
25 by 20, exactly. That's the math I was counting on.
That's right.
Aaron with the math, look at that.
Hey. But yeah, I mean, that's why I put in these, this little grid and some dimensions, even just to, remind yourself of how small it is. And you're only working with 20 feet by 25 feet, and that is not a lot of space. So as soon as I kind of got over the idea of like, okay, this needs to be a really small confined space, I thought that the best thing to do would be to basically create just enough of a scene, just bare bones scene, as to like not be overly prescriptive. I didn't want people to like see an entire interior and then be like, well, there's nothing left for me to do except, pull in some models from 3D Warehouse. And so when we're looking at this landscape here in the front, there's some planters you can work with. There's a little bit of a like a boardwalk that you can mess with. I'm curious to see what Aaron's going to do. I didn't leave him a whole lot to work with. Same for the interior. You've got 2 basically facades with some glazing and a solid wall, and then an empty wall. There's nothing there. You can do whatever you want with it. And then last week, as you guys saw, there was this exterior with a little bit of a canopy. But yeah, again, not a whole lot. I kind of wanted to leave things open-ended for the contestants. But and then the last thing that I really made sure to do was try to build a tidy model. And Aaron and I have laughed about this because if you open up the templates, there is a random window floating out in the ether. So it's not that cleaned. But I wanted to make sure that everything is, kind of a component. So if you are working on a window, it's immediately changing all of the windows. If Aaron goes in and he's like, I'm tired of this boardwalk thing, like you're immediately changing all of it. So
good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. Hey, you can do whatever you want with the boardwalk. But yeah, I just wanted to, make sure that people had a good starting point.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Has anybody in the chat, have you downloaded the templates, or have you taken the challenge yourself and submitted? Let us know. We'd be interested to hear. I saw some people scanning the QR code earlier. So that's cool. We appreciate you finding some more information about the challenge. I should also say that there is a deadline, and it's June 11th, I believe.
A couple weeks
Coming up soon.
Which, you know what? 60 minutes in a couple weeks you don't have a whole lot of time to do it. So if you just chalk out a lunch hour, you got all the time you need to do this. All right, let's get doing stuff. Let's get designing. So what we want to do is we want to start by Justin and I are both going to take a chunk of time, show you our templates and what we're thinking is going to go on in them. And then we want to invite you guys, like we did last week. If you were there last week, you kind of saw what happened. Well, actually, the beginning was pretty good. What we want to do is get you guys to give your input, your ideas, like what are some things you think about in the context of what would this, in my case, landscape look like in 2050. So I want to try to keep as much as possible of the existing template. I like this template. So I do want to make this, try to go for some natural material look. So I want to kind of, get wood in here for the boardwalk. Again, going natural and futuristic. Everything I see about the future says that sharp corners don't exist. They're going to be rounded off. All the spaceships have organic shapes. So I'm going to round off all this stuff. We're going to make kind of similar to what I did last time. It's kind of similar aesthetic, I think, but try to round everything off, make some curves in here. I want to hear from you guys real quick because I haven't figured out what goes in here. I was thinking some kind of grassiness, right? Get some grassy space in here, but I don't know for sure like what would be best to put here. Over here, this little planter box right here, I'm thinking a tree, something that goes up and like lends some shade to the rest of this area. But I'm thinking like, is this a picnic area? Is this a playground? Is this a barbecue area? Like, what do you guys think would be good to put in this little space right here? Trying to do something like I said, landscapey. So I would love to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and put a comment in. Do us a favor because Justin and I will be working on 2 different models. If you have input for either one of us, start with either an A or an Aaron or a J or a Justin. Put a little thing at the beginning. Otherwise, we're going to spend a lot of time going, do you think they mean the living room or do they mean in the landscape?
Am I going to put trees inside this living room?
We do have a recommendation from Nick for a water feature. So that could be fun. I like that idea. That could be.
I'll put a water fountain in my interior. No problem.
Maybe that's what we should do is swap input and see how we make it work. Sven saying a workout mat area. That would be nice too. I like that. I like these ideas. Keep them coming. We'll get 2 or 3 more ideas, and then we'll see what Justin's thinking for his. And I want to.
I was just going to say right off the bat, I mean, if you're going to round your corners, I mean, there's no love for the skateboarders in the future. Come on, Aaron.
Nah, they're all Matt will model them a Tony Hawk board that they can go skate on, and I'm gonna it's simple.
Okay.
I did want to point out that what we're doing right here is how you should be thinking about it. Get your template, take a look at it. Think about what you want to put in there. If you're a guy, if you're a designer who likes mood boards or something like that, go ahead and spend your time doing that up front. And then when it actually comes time to model, that's actually the time you're clicking in SketchUp is what counts. So you can grab stuff off 3D Warehouse. You can grab pre-existing assets you already have to put in there, images, whatever you want. 1 hour of actual design time is what we're looking at. So this type of thing we're brainstorming beforehand. Definitely do that. Don't just hop in cold. But yeah, that's what we do.
Now you got to get warmed up. 1 hour of modeling time, but 12 hours of prep, like really. And actually that's a great segue because for mine, I did put together a little bit of a mood board. So yeah, I know. Didn't take me 12 hours though, I will say. But yeah, I mean, when I'm thinking about an interior space, what things could look like in 2050, I think just considering that, Matt and Aaron and I, we're all in different parts of the US right now, all streaming together. Maybe in the future, everybody is working a little bit more from home. Maybe that's more of a permanent thing. Maybe people are getting tired of working from home. Maybe like a co-working space or like a coffee shop becomes the norm, So I'm thinking I want to have a space where people can come together, and be productive and pull out their laptops and get a little bit of that caffeine in them. And so yeah, I mean, when I was thinking about just some ideas here, I'm thinking like a nice bright space. And granted, it's only 500 square feet. It's not very big. And so, I think all we really have room for is maybe like a little bit of a coffee bar and a little bit of seating. And so I'm trying to think, how can I, like really put some seating in here that allows the most amount of people to, be productive, but, not sit on top of each other and not, not have it feel super crowded. So, I'm thinking maybe, I mean, this is a good starting point with these windows, this wall. But maybe it's a little too prescriptive. Maybe I want to switch up some of these windows. There's like a sliding glass door here in the back, which might make sense if this was more of a living room, but I'm thinking maybe it doesn't make sense in this context. Maybe there's something we can do with this wall, put in a window, or just something that like brings in a little bit more light. So yeah, off the bat, I'm thinking maybe I'll spend like 10 minutes making some changes to the architecture of this model. Maybe I'll spend like 30 minutes, like kind of modeling some furniture and a coffee bar. And then maybe like 20 minutes, kind of pulling some stuff from 3D Warehouse and, working with some ambient occlusion, some environments, and really trying to, get some nice materials in there so that this looks good and that I beat Aaron.
It just turned into a competition. No, but an important point that Justin did call out, these templates are not locked down. If you use a template, like I said, which is an option, you don't have to use anything in here. Everything in here can change. Justin can change the facade. I can change the boardwalk or the planters. Nothing is locked down. So use this as an idea of where to start. Definitely not a requirement or a have to use thing.
Yes, totally. And as we're switching between cameras, I think there's a way that I can put people's names on screen.
Ooh.
Is this helpful for people that way you know which? I mean, Justin's doing the interior and Aaron's doing the landscape, but
that's awesome.
That way, when you do switch between, you can see. Okay, cool. And we also had a question from Terry on YouTube about how do you determine the modeling time, and it's determined by the challenge itself. So there's only 60 minutes allowed of modeling time. You can do, like Justin said, 12 hours, 24 hours, as many hours as you want beforehand, kind of planning stuff. But the actual modeling time is part of the challenge. It's a design sprint. It's a sprint. So you only have the 60 minutes. So all your modeling has to take place within that 60 minutes to be considered for this challenge.
Right.
Yeah. And Matt's going to throw up a timer. This is starting to feel a lot like like one of those cooking show competitions that I watch all the time. So yeah, if my modeling falls apart and you see me sweating on screen, that is very much what's happening.
Nice.
Yeah. No pulling any turkeys out of the oven pre-made. That's not allowed in this challenge either.
Excuse me.
We did have some other suggestions. Pergolas with sitting area. Maybe that's for the landscape.
I'm assuming that's outside.
Mm-hmm. Michael on LinkedIn said, I think this is also related to your
yoga
template, Aaron. The could be a yoga area. Zanetta on Facebook says a sculpture would go well there. Could be inside or outside, I suppose. Could be at the coffee shop, certainly. I vote for mulch in the exterior. I just mulched.
I know.
My yard.
Matt's a big mulch guy. He's
big mulch guy.
Big mulch guy.
Huge mulch guy. Yeah, I made a video on YouTube on how I used SketchUp to calculate how much mulch I needed. I actually went back to that video this year to order more. I just got to keep ordering more mulch. That's the annoying part. But anyways, yeah. Do we want to field any more suggestions? I think we ride into it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Aaron's hyped.
I'm ready. I got ideas. I got
Put
thoughts.
me in, coach.
Put me in. Oh, and one more question that I saw from Randy. I assume you can use an area smaller than 500 square feet. Totally. Yes, absolutely. If you decide that 500 square feet is too big for whatever reason, make it smaller. Oh man, look at that. The countdown has started. We have 35 seconds, Aaron. Are you ready?
T-minus 30.
I mean, when I did this last time, I did end up with a couple extra minutes at the end, and I finally just called it. So I don't know if it's going to be the same, but yeah, this would be interesting. This would be fun.
With the ticking clock on screen, it might be more pressure. Who knows?
Yeah, I already started sweating. I think that's because when we get towards the bottom, Matt's going to go, dude.
Stressed out.
Okay.
All right.
On your mark. Get set. Model.
All right.
1 hour on the clock, and we have our modelers begun here.
I think what I'm going to do for mine, I like this boardwalk a lot, but I want to futurize it a little bit. So I'm going to get some bent wood. I think here we got all the slats going this way. They're all going this way. I think right here I'm going to do something like where I'm going to like have a round piece connect one to the other. So it'll be kind of a cool feature around where I'm going to put my tree. So I'm going to do a couple of things. One is I'm going to delete this panel. Like Justin said, these are all components. So I can come into one of these and I can color them. 2025 is a new modeling me, because I'm getting into these materials. I am loving this stuff. So I'm going to grab this wood color. I'm going to put this on here. That's okay, but it's outside. I feel like it should be a little more bleached out, you know? So let's go here. I'm going to go back to home. I'm going to click on this and oops, go to home. I'm going to double click on the material. But I broke it. Go to Justin.
Oh, you broke it already.
A minute and a half
Oh,
in.
What did I even do?
Yeah. Oh man, Aaron.
Well, this is good having two people, because then we can switch if anything goes wrong. So
Oh my
looks
goodness.
like Justin has
Yeah.
taken part of that wall out, gotten that sliding door out of there.
I'm making some changes. Yeah, so far I've decided that these windows that used to go all the way down to the floor were a little bit too long, and if I want to put like some seating against this window, it could be cool if there was a little bit more of a wall there. As I mentioned in the prelude, I was thinking that the sliding glass door didn't really make sense in this context, and so I've removed the sliding glass door, and now I'm starting to think that, well, maybe it'd be cool if these windows kind of like opened up a little bit more, you know, like if they could remain closed as they are, but you could also, like, you know, spin them open. And I recognize that I guess that's what a sliding door is. But it's 2050. We got to reinvent the sliding door here. So I'm gonna work on something. I think I kind of want to make like a little bit of like a I don't know, like a shade structure or something, or like a shading system. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, part of the challenge, if you go to the QR code and see the details, one of the things that people will be judged on their designs is the kind of the sustainability, the environmental considerations given, and shade. Obviously, a key part of anytime you have windows, having shade elements in there in order to reduce the greenhouse effect, or making it cooler in the day, and not using a bunch of energy expenditure for air conditioning or things of this nature, especially if this window or door, sliding door, whatever you want to call it, is going to be open for a lot of the time people are in there. That certainly makes a lot of sense. And we'll pop back over to Aaron. Somebody said this is better than the Great British Bake Off. So that's high praise. We appreciate that. Thanks, Randy.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks, Randy.
And Aaron is back up and running. He's using offset to get this curve in there. If you watched his approach last week, it was a lot of curves. The future is curvy.
Curvy and silver, man. That's reflective and curvy. I think that's just all that the future is going to be. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to spoil it for anybody.
Silver wood would be great.
All right, there we go.
Nice. So we've got this kind of
so one thing I was thinking about with modeling this is 1 hour. We've talked a lot about clean modeling, right? Like used to tease Tyson a little bit about the scrap pile he would leave in every one of his live models off camera. Realistically, I think there's some stuff you guys probably don't have to worry about being too beautiful in your stuff, you know. So don't worry too much about cleaning up. I think that this is okay if this is a good looking good looking model above all else, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, there's no criteria. There's nothing on the rubric about organization. So yeah, probably no need to name your components unless you really want to. Nothing's stopping you, certainly. But
if you do automatically, then you're better than me.
Yeah, kudos. That's.
I am going to come in and remove. We don't need that measurements or anything, so I'm going to take those out. But all right, so there's my boardwalk thus far. That looks pretty good. I think that's as far as I'm going with it too.
Aaron, not that it's a competition or anything, but it'd be a shame if something happened to your model. Maybe you want to save.
save. Look at that. That's sportsmanship, folks.
Yeah.
I don't trust him
here.
I think he's messing with me. I'm not going to do it because I don't trust him.
Yeah, don't save.
Oh, the mind games. All right, I'm going to save. Oh, I just saved as the template. That's why. Save as, everybody save as.
Yeah, speaking of templates, we got some template videos up on YouTube this week for SketchUp and for layout. So check those out if you're interested. After this stream is over, of course. You wouldn't want to step away when the clock's ticking down. But
the stupidest thing you could do.
That would be.
I don't mean to judge, but
it's a good piece to go if you're looking for template stuff. Let's pop back over to Justin, and he's got 4 of these spinning shade structure windows. These are beautiful.
Yeah, hey, thanks. Yeah, I'm thinking, like I said, it'd be really cool if these, could open up. So in the summertime or like a nice fall evening or whatever, you can kind of get some fresh air in here. But then, when it's a little too warm or it's the nighttime and you got to close shop, you can just close them, So yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking with that so far. Let's see, what do we want to tackle next? So I've built out a little bit of the windows, built the shading things. Thinking I want to start working on some of the seating. So let's see here. Gonna draw. I'm gonna go back to my idea board here. I'm kind of liking some of these examples that I've pulled of kind of this like rounded, like curved. I just I guess fins that are like coming down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it could be cool to do something similar here. Perhaps there's something that's like sequenced a few times across this wall, and there's like a curved fin that comes down, and it like turns into seating or something. So I'm just gonna explore that real quick. We'll gonna grab these 2 edges. I'm gonna offset them a little bit. Going to let's do a little bit of a rounding of the corner here. I don't think I need this. I'm gonna just extrude that a little bit, turn it into a component, and yeah, let's see what we can do here. So I'm thinking maybe bring that out like, I don't know, 1.5 or something. Then let's get like, I don't know, like a bench happening, maybe around like the 4-foot mark. Like
Love to see it. You probably won't see guides over on Aaron's screen share. So
not gonna happen.
Hey, you got to use guides.
I don't have time to save time like that.
I don't have time to save time, he says. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like there's a little bit of a structure here. Maybe there's a light that comes down. There's like a little bit of a tabletop where maybe somebody could put their laptop and a cup of coffee or something. I'm going to extend this a little bit more, and I'm going to, again, Aaron got rid of the grid, but I'm using the grid because I kind of like everything to be, proportionate somewhat.
yeah.
Whereas Aaron is more of the artist, it's loose, it's fun. And I'm German, it's got to line up, so.
Nice. Well, we'll let you work on this and pop back over to see Aaron's progress.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just so I'll fill this in. Come in here, edit, paste in place. I'm going to reclaim some grassy area right here. Drop that down like that. Oops.
Nice to see some foliage getting a little more space.
Yeah. Get some grass on there. Nice. All right, I'm going to save that. And then I think I don't want to go too crazy on here. I think what I want to do is just something like this. I'm going to put a line across here, drop a circle right like that. There we go. I'm going to take that and make it a group real quick. And then I want to put one of those right here. I'll rotate one of those. Just using this footprint as a general idea of where this all goes. That works. And then I'll grab this, copy that right here, and then rotate it. Like that. And then I'll stick that here, slide it over to here. It just gives me the same arc on every spot. One of the things I'm noticing with this is when I'm timed, and I guess you could say a lot of time. I spend a lot of time modeling while I'm being timed, but I'll say that I think I fall back on what we have called in this stream before brute force modeling, which is, you know, just grabbing that command that you know works. Might not be the prettiest way to do something. It may not be the smartest way to do something, but it gets the job done. And I feel like I'm definitely going there at this point. I'm definitely like just getting her done, you know?
Yeah, it's better to get it done than get caught in the weeds on something.
All right, I like that. I like that roundness. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab this corner right here. And again, just copying reference geometry, and take that. I can copy that, undo a couple times, get rid of that. Come over here, and then same thing. I'll just paste one of these, stick it right on here, inference that edge, drag it up here to inference this edge, throw a line right across like this, and then rotate that, option 3x, like that. There we go. That's good. And then a couple rectangles to close that all up. Or lines, apparently. That's what I just did.
Brute force.
Yeah, that's whatever it takes, man. I'm just, you know, whew, yeah.
Yeah, whatever tool gets the job done. And speaking of, we had a question on YouTube about, are we allowed to use additional third-party extensions? And yes, you're allowed to use extensions. In fact, some extensions like SketchUp Diffusion are actually encouraged to use to help your visualization. And they also say, will the project be judged on the 2D images? Because so for the submission, you submit the SKP SketchUp file, a 2D image, and also a video, which could be a video of you modeling. It could be like a scene animation. It could just be a screen recording of you orbiting your model. But those are the three pieces of the submission that you need to submit. And was thinking of layering model over diffusion background and layout. Yep, you can certainly do that. And I would say that would help your chances as well.
Yeah, go for it. Awesome. Yep, I got some curved concrete. I don't need to try anymore. I think curved concrete just takes care of it.
Yeah, hey, that's the future.
It still looks like you could skate that. So I think skateboarders are still a part of the picture in 2025.
I at no point was anti-skateboard. I just want to point this out. Like,
hey,
I feel like that label was thrust upon me. I don't remember ever saying like, "Oh, stupid skateboarders, we're gonna mess with their lives."
Aaron's
This is
looking up
2050.
skate stoppers on 3D Warehouse. Yeah.
I would like to point out that Justin does not separate his lights and darks when he does laundry. He also sometimes doesn't recycle. I've seen him throw out aluminum can once.
Well, sometimes I think Aaron has a poor Ethernet connection. Oh, sorry.
Oh. Wow.
Man,
I had no idea
mud
this was going
over
to
here,
get
folks.
so angry.
God. I'm sorry.
No, you cannot say it now.
Yeah, that's true.
Nick says it'd be nice to have a few more PBR grass materials that come shipped with SketchUp. Yeah, there are, a few landscape materials, but you can always find more on 3D Warehouse too, or any PBR material you can find. But yeah, appreciate that feedback, certainly. As Aaron gets his planter going over here, let's pop back over to Justin and see. Oh boy, you modeled all those hanging fixtures, huh? In the time we were away from you?
Yes, I've been modeling some leaves. I've really been getting into the weeds here. No,
Attention to detail.
I grabbed these from 3D Warehouse because that is a part of the thing here. And yeah, I grabbed some stools from 3D Warehouse, and I'm thinking because this is a component, I'm going to have some stools here. It's looking a little bit like a classroom right now, but again, I'm thinking that this might be a cool place for like you and your colleagues to come hang out. Yeah, maybe get a little bit of work done. I'm thinking that this front one is looking fairly uniform, or I mean, I think there's an opportunity to kind of spread this front one across the rest of the space here. So I'm going to, let's see here, flip this over. I'm going to make this, well, before I do that, actually, I'm going to make this component unique. And then I'm going to flip this over, which, candidly, I just learned about the flip tool maybe like a year or two ago, and it's changed the game. So if you're not hip to the flip tool,
what are you even doing?
Exactly.
Yeah, scaling to -1 is that's a thing of the past. We're in 2050 over here. We're flipping.
Yeah, 2050. We use the flip tool.
If I can do it, you can do it.
True. Yeah. And so yeah, now I feel like I'm, relatively pleased with the amount of seating that we have here. We got a little bit of vegetation going. I'm thinking we need something to deliver some caffeine to the folks. So I think I'm gonna start working on a little bit of like a I don't know, like a counter here, So let's see here. Going to draw a rectangle first and foremost. Maybe this is rounded a little bit. Going to draw actually I'm gonna offset this. I'm gonna go for a more clean result. So let's see. Yeah, if we extrude this to the height of the window there, it's looking decent. Looks like you can make coffee on that. I feel like countertops usually have a little bit of like a oh no, a little bit of like a countertop. So I'm gonna offset this again.
Very nice. Yeah, I'll say if I was a judge for this challenge, I would give 10 bonus points to anybody who included coffee in their model. So
noted.
Oh, you're not judging? I thought you were judging. That's why I've been doing the whole coffee thing. Oh my God, Matt, come on.
I'm judging on this stream. I still have the, I can put up the poll and swing the numbers for who the people in the chat prefer which model at the end.
Yeah, good thinking.
If you're just joining us, Aaron and Justin here are partaking in the Design Sprint Challenge, which is a SketchUp put on by the a challenge put on by the SketchUp team to model within 60-minute time frame. That's why you see the ticking clock above me, and also in 500 square feet. What would you think the future of design would look like? So Justin's approaching it from an interior perspective. He's got this kind of coffee shop vibe going, and back over on Aaron's screen, he's got he's taking it from a landscape point of view. So he has this these couple planters and a little boardwalk area with a little grassy respite. Is that the right word? An oasis of sorts. So
I like that.
Yeah. It looks like you got a tree in there too, eh?
Yeah, I went to 3D Warehouse. Justin's over there. 3D Warehouse. I'm like, okay, I'll do that a little bit too.
So you're peeking over
Giving
at
away
Justin's
my
model.
secrets.
Well, I mean, you know,
Looking
I
over his
was
shoulder
like,
during the test.
I think it's cool to, you know, model your own thing, but if you want to go download, that's cool too, I guess.
Hey, I just want to make sure that I'm not, you know, too in the weeds here, like modeling a coffee mug for like 30 minutes.
You know, it is a very valid point that yes, absolutely. That is something that could definitely I could see happening. I'm going to turn my planter into a water feature, I decided. So we're going to make like a little waterfall kind of thing coming down here. So I want to get a little bit of like a 3D arc going that this is going to be cut off at. So we're going to make this surface right here, and I'm going to come in here and grab this and say intersect with model, and I'm just going to get rid of everything up here and come out here, get rid of this, and there we go. We got that coming down. That'll be cool. That'll work.
Yeah, I like it.
Actually, I'm going to grab this and say I'm going to cut that face, and I'm going to come back into context and say edit, paste in place, and there we go. Now we have a surface there. That's going to be important.
Very cool. Using the intersections to create some complex geometry quickly. So that's smart when you're on the clock, certainly.
Looks good. I like that.
Hey, I think
Yeah.
skateboarders would be very happy with that. I'm just saying, not to
You
bring
could-
that up again, but I
You could
think
drop
that
in on
is-
that. Yeah.
You can
One-
drop in on that for sure.
One note here. I mean, right, fine. I guess 2025 is year of the skater. I don't know.
Every year is the year of the skater.
You're the skater.
Intersect with context. That's going to give me my face right there like that. This vertically. That. That's cool. I like that. All right. And then I'm just going to take my concrete color, throw that right in here. And then I'm going to have to download, I think, a watercolor. But temporarily, I'll just grab a nice blue color. A water feature there. I like it, but it feels a little congested, so I think I'm going to punch a hole in here. I'm going to put some holes through here. Maybe a nice little like couple of arches so I can kind of see through here, and it'll open this space up. One thing I did do while I was modeling is I did turn shadows off, something that you guys might run into. We talked about the brand new graphics engines in SketchUp 2025, things like ambient occlusion, which I should go turn on right now because it makes me so happy when I have this turned on.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's get in there. Yes. Give me some ambient shadows. Sorry. Shadows, right? Shadows. The regular shadows are still rendered by the older portion of the engine. So sometimes I get a little bit of a stutter if I have something that's causing a lot of shadows to get calculated. So trees are a big one for this, right? Because every one of these shapes and trees, as I'm moving this, it's recalculating where this shadow falls on the model. It can be a little heavy. So I do tend to turn off shadows as I model. So it's much quicker, but I can always turn those back on when I create my final output. So something to note, something to think about there.
Yeah, always a good call when speed is of the essence.
Yeah, I'm modeling against Justin. I gotta keep this in mind. I mean, he's not slow
Well,
modeling.
well, yeah. I mean, you know, I can't rebuttal that. I'm pretty slow, but you know, I take my time.
Absolutely.
Have you been getting any interesting suggestions in the chat, Matt?
Let's see. Nick says 2050 is the year of the hoverboard. So
Ooh,
perhaps
yeah.
a hoverboard would go well in there.
No rails necessary, baby.
Terry says, do we need to say save?
Oh yeah,
And it's
sure.
always helpful to remind the modelers on SketchUp Live to save. So appreciate that. We have a comment from LinkedIn saying, I'm addicted to using SketchUp. That's
Oof.
good. That's a
Yeah.
kind of
Welcome.
addiction we can get behind. And maybe channel some of that energy into the design sprint challenge if you feel up to it. certainly fun and a good exercise.
Yeah, for sure.
We have a comment from Ty saying, Justin, you should have done a Carcassonne themed space.
Oh, yeah. Ty and I used to play Carcassonne every single lunch. Yeah, we really got into it. There were some very tense matches back in the day. That is a fantastic game if anybody has played it or not played it.
Yeah.
The fantasticness
Classic
is not
tile
dependent
game.
upon you having played it, is what you're saying?
No, it's I mean, it's fantastic.
So Aaron looks like he has his arches in, softening up some edges to clean them up. But yeah, looking good. We have like a very interesting water feature coming together. Back over at the coffee shop, a la
Yep.
Justin.
I'm using some guides here to make sure that my windows are aligned. And yeah, I'm just I'm punching a little bit of a hole out of this wall so that I can add a window.
Love to
As
see
one
it.
does.
Natural light.
Yeah.
As always welcome.
Yeah. Love a good window.
And I should give a time update. We have 33 left. So keep that in mind as you continue your designs here, or as you're watching and you know how much time. We're not even to the halfway point, but we've got some strong contenders, some strong models being created here. I shouldn't say contenders because since everybody on this call is a SketchUp employee, we unfortunately cannot enter the challenge, but we take solace knowing that you could use perhaps the ideas or the approaches used here to compete yourself. So
yeah,
it's still fun,
Yeah.
even if it's not for the big daddy grand prize.
Even if you can't win.
$5,000. We're doing it for fun because we are also addicted to SketchUp.
Not untrue.
Not untrue. All right, so yeah, I've got some seating here. I've got ample light that's coming in from basically all sides now. I've got these doors that can open up. I mean, 32 minutes to go. I wonder if it's time to just hop into 3D Warehouse and start populating things. Again, it kind of feels like this is such a small space that, like, as much as I would want to continue, modeling some more furniture, it feels like there's not really time, or there's not really like space to keep modeling furniture. So I don't know, Matt. Like, what do you think? You're the coffee enthusiast. Do we need to get a coffee machine on this counter? What do you think?
Oh, you certainly need a coffee machine. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a cozy kind of cafe vibe, but you don't want it to be overcrowded. You don't want it to be feeling like claustrophobic to anybody who's enjoying their hot beverage in here. So
I know. Yeah, it's a fine line between cozy and like, hey, get off my elbow, stranger. Type thing.
Yeah.
How are you ever going to meet somebody new if you have that attitude?
Oh, Aaron, I've done all the meeting. I don't need any new.
You don't want to do any elbow bumping?
Come on, let's elbow up, fella.
Elbow up. All right. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna start pulling in some things from 3D Warehouse.
Nice. I noticed you have some extension toolbars on your window. Have you used any extensions so far?
I haven't. One thing that could be interesting for the one of the extensions that I have, and it's like one of my favorite ones, is let's see here. It's called Random Tools, and when I build models for SketchUp, I use Random Tools all the time because, as you can see, in a situation like this where all the stools are perfectly kind of aligned with each other, it kind of gives me a little bit of a classroom look. And if you want a little bit of like randomness in your model, then these random tools are really good to, just go in and you can change the rotation, the position, and the scale. So like if you're putting a bunch of trees in a landscape, like changing the scale of the trees and the position, like kind of can add some randomness. That's nice. But want to change the scale of these stools, so I'm gonna put in like a little, 20-degree variation for these bar stools, and maybe that was a little chaotic, but I want the stools to, just to look a little messy, like this coffee shop has been getting, some traffic, and people haven't been aligning their stools perfectly.
Yeah,
And then
certainly.
the other extension that I love is round corner. So I'm thinking that like maybe this countertop, for instance, would look good with some rounded corners. Let me see if I can do this, because like Aaron said, 2025 is, everything is rounded, no
Yeah.
sharp edges.
Yep.
So see if I can weld these. I don't know that this is going to happen right now. Oh, maybe. Bear with me, folks. Oh, there we go. Yeah, some with this extension, you need to make sure that you're like rounding it an amount that can actually show up. So I originally had it at like 1 foot, which is way too big for this. But now that we have it on an inch, you're getting this like nice little rounding of the countertop, which looks nice. Thanks for the suggestion, Matt. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, beautiful, nice, and more comfortable to lean on now than the sharp edge, certainly. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I put a link to random tools in the chat, and round corner coming shortly. Here's no. Coming your way right now. I should say we have just under 28 minutes left, modelers, so keep that in mind. Ove suggesting having a coffee maker and then also maybe a register, like a point of sale, and perhaps some shelves for coffee cups, but that it might be hard to find space for them with all the windows in there, so might not be the ideal spot for the cups.
Okay, maybe we need to get rid of the windows. Anything can happen. There's 27 minutes left.
That's true. Yeah, it's a free-flowing design, certainly. And Peter says, you don't want just any coffee machine in there. You want a fancy espresso maker.
Oh, yeah. No, this is
Looks
no
like a fancy
ordinary
little
coffee
cafe.
shop. This is a 2050 coffee shop. And by then, espresso technology is truly next level. So yeah, I'll try to find something really good. I'm curious, maybe for the chat, if anybody is interested in seeing a little bit of like a deli, like a counter, like a little glass counter with, I don't know, maybe some pastries in it. I don't know. Let me know what you think.
Ooh,
Justin hasn't had lunch yet, folks.
And Aaron ate right before this.
Yeah, I'm not coming in like that. I know how this works.
Yeah, no food in the park. So we're back at Aaron here
right.
today, and oh, look at that! What a beautiful statue it is.
I got a statue, got some yoga mats. I'm taking everybody's input. I don't know. This is one of my favorite uses of SketchUp, of course, is space planning, because I want to put some mats in here in a way that makes sense. So this is nice because I can just take these, throw them in here, and just start tossing them around. See where it looks good. How many people could I fit in here at a yoga session? And of course, yeah, I got somebody asked for a statue, so I made a statue.
Is it of yourself?
No, it's you got to look at the screen. I'm gonna tell him.
That's a nice statue.
Thanks.
It's really, really nice.
Yeah. This kind of looks like it's like everybody's like praying towards the SketchUp statue.
Well,
it's like
just a little prayer garden.
That's right.
Well, I didn't want to go with a any sort of anything that could be interpreted as being biased towards any particular world, religion, or belief. So I just why are we all here?
SketchUp is the one true belief between everything.
There we go. Look at that. Ooh, yeah. Skate that, punk.
We can board slide that, no problem.
That's right. It's short, but you could come up here. You know what?
Planning
The whole
runs
thing's
already.
kind of silly, being that we are talking about boardwalk with significant gaps between the boards and grass. So I'm just going to say probably not too big of an issue for skaters. You could run up, jump, slide this, and then land in the grass and be done.
Yeah, maybe soap shoes. You guys remember those?
Oh yeah. Or even like Heelys. When I was a kid, I was so dead set on getting Heelys, and one of like our family friends like ended up buying them for me. And as soon as my mom saw me fall on the ground, like within like 5 seconds of using it, that was the last time that ever entered the house. So
No more Heelys for Justin.
Yeah, you don't want to have to
Word.
like be wearing knee pads around when you're just wearing shoes. It kind of looks silly.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, hey, if you're wearing knee pads in middle school, just like to class, like you're never gonna recover from that, you know.
Or you're doing something new. I mean, it's probably what they said about the first guy on a hoverboard in 2050.
That's true. Setting the style.
I do need to. I don't want these to be black, of course, because a black yoga mat in 2050. Seriously.
Get real.
Come on. I think I'm going to, if I do know anything about the future, it's that everything is reflective materials. So we're going to do just that. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to go grab my metals. And we're going to start with a silvery texture on this one. And then I'll come in here. I would say people ask a lot about when you download stuff from 3D Warehouse, using it just ad hoc. I think one of the things that frustrates me most about 3D Warehouse is just how many layers some of these groups have before you get to raw geometry.
Yeah.
Because, and sometimes I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true. I feel like sometimes, I know that I've seen you talk about this, but the best practice is to download the model into, a new model, and then to kind of like copy and paste like a clean version over. But for example, if you just quickly flip over to my screen, I just picked up some pastries from 3D Warehouse, and look at the size of the pastries compared to the coffee shop.
World's biggest cupcake.
I don't know if they're making pastries this big in 2020 or 2050, but if they are, I will be eating a lot of them. But this is huge, So, yeah. But yeah, basically, let's see. I'm in the phase of, with 21 minutes to go here. I've been adding that really nice espresso machine that people have been talking about. A little bit of a deli counter. I'm kind of in the phase of let's throw in some decoration, maybe some laptops. Let's make it look like a bustling scene. Then let's get some environments in here, some ambient occlusion, and really nail that hero shot, so that because that's what sells it. So yeah, right now I'm just working on wrangling these pastries into something that will fit into the deli counter,
or the deli.
Or the entire coffee shop.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I like the kind of the random placement of cups and dishes around. Definitely has a more of a lived-in feel. So appreciate that.
Yeah.
And confections. So that's big too.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, they look pretty good. I mean, look at that strawberry tart. Oof, not bad. But yeah, have you been getting any interesting ideas or questions in the chat?
Yeah, Ty is really liking your food there with the drooling emoji. So
he hasn't eaten lunch either.
Yeah, it's one of the downfalls of having the noon Mountain Time stream is it falls right close to lunchtime. We did have a kind of a general question about faces and, internal faces versus external, and a request for including a simplified option to face out / front to make all edges white instead of gray. You can do that. You can do that. It's called orient faces. So when you right click on a face of raw geometry, you'll have the option to orient faces. So if anything's, the white face is facing out, then orient faces will switch all the other faces to match the same orientation. Look at that shiny water we got going on.
Look at I can make the water flow in my model. I'm just saying.
That's
I'm not
definitely
talking
making the video.
trash. I'm just going to point out that the water actually flows through my water feature. So
that's beautiful. And we hadn't checked out the shiny mats yet too. So let's
check this out. If this isn't sci-fi, look at that. Total Recall yoga mats, if ever I've seen them. Look at that.
The future.
Just absolutely. Woo! Love it. I'm at a spot right now where I'm trying to figure out what else to do. I'm kind of feeling.
I thought I was the only one. I was like 18 minutes left. What are we doing here?
So we talked about this last week too. Hours a lot of time for 50 or 500 square feet. It's don't get me wrong. You know what we should probably point out is that Justin, you're new to these people, everybody. Can you just give us like a 2-minute background on your experience, how you come into SketchUp, what your backup is? You're talking like a professional designer over there when you're talking about space use and that kind of stuff. What's where do you come? Where are you from, man?
I see. You want me to use 2 minutes of my valuable 18 minutes left. Okay, well let's see here. I've been with SketchUp basically for the last decade of my life. I come from the world of architecture and have since been working at SketchUp, basically building models and taking care of the graphic design for a long time now. Things have changed over the last couple of years, but prior to that, I have basically created all of the like hero imagery that you've seen and have made the like hero models and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, this is why I kind of feel like I'm coming at this from the lens of like, well, let's add some decoration. Let's add some like plants in here, like let's make this look like a live space. But yeah, I've been using SketchUp ever since school, maybe 15 years ago now. And in case it seems like I'm kind of, orbiting all over the place here, it's because even though I've been using this product for 15 years, I still have yet to use a space mouse. So when Aaron and Matt are modeling and it looks nice and smooth, that is why. And I promise you that I will buckle down and learn it. But yeah, Aaron, do you want to give up like 3 or 4 minutes of your time and tell the people what you've been up to?
I can model and talk, man. Don't even worry about me. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, so you don't have. Speaking of the space mouse, we don't have the overhead view, but Justin, are you using just a regular 3-button scroll wheel mouse, or
even worse? I'm using my trackpad on my laptop.
Ew!
Trackpad. Oh my gosh, that should give you like an extra 10 minutes.
It's like a handicap. Wow.
Yeah, that's why I'm using it, Aaron, because
you didn't want to show me up. Yeah,
it wouldn't be fair. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
No, it's out there now. I can't unsay that.
You can model circles around me. So
no, it's it is fun to hear. That's one of the things I really like about SketchUp is it's fun to get together with people and like hear what they're doing, where they come from. Some people go to school for this kind of thing, like Justin. Some people are not school guys like me. But
school guys, yeah.
School guys, yeah. Sorry, I meant schoolers. Sorry, he's the correct term. But no, it's really cool because I do see a very diverse group in SketchUp users, and it's just a lot of fun to get to see that. So yeah, love it.
Yeah, totally. We did have one comment from Randy about the kind of the overarching beam, Justin, in your model. It looks like the middle is kind of overlapping a little bit, and he said it's driving him crazy.
You know what? Now that I see it, it's driving me a little crazy too. So yeah, I'm gonna go in and fix that.
Nice. Mental health will be very important in 2050. So you don't want anything driving you crazy in your coffee shop, certainly.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
And let's pop back over to Aaron and see the progress he's made. We got some nice materials going up on the planter here.
I think I'm going to kind of try to tie in that shape I have for the arch. I'm going to try to get something, just a similar recess on this material right here. Take that and we'll copy that. I'm doing a radial array rather than mirror because I want to put one of these on each side. So I put it here, then type 3x, and that'll give me one on each side like that. And then I'm just going to take those. I don't want to push it all the way through, of course, like I had on the outside, but we'll just do that. Just enough so we get that similar shape, you know, tying back to these arches over here. Similar look and feel.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. This is coming together. It's coming together.
Nice consistent design element there.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of those arches, it looks like we didn't see you round them. What did you?
Yeah. So
how did you approach that?
I think I should do that on here too because I don't like the way these don't quite match. So what I did was I came in with an hard C on that. Put that right there, and then I could grab these three pieces and then weld them together. Welding them together, of course, going to make it so I don't have a break in my geometry at the end. And then just bring that around like that, and then recolor that. There we go. And then I get a nice, whoa, hey, slow down, buddy. And I get a nice rounded arc like that. Extra edges. Yeah. Something I have noticed about the new PBR materials, I know there's mixed emotions about them. Some people are nostalgic for the old ones. One of the things I really like about it is because the way the light plays, when I don't have perfectly aligning materials, like without the reflections and the texture, it was a lot easier to pick out when that was happening. But with these PBRs, I get a lot less of that. So I mean, like this is not this material, because it's on those facets of my arc, is not perfect, but you can't really tell once you get that reflection in the light and the shadow playing. So it's a great time saver, I think.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that looks good, and a good example of using Follow Me. Gonzalo had a question. Do you use any plugins to model? So earlier, Justin showed two plugins. One was Random Tools, and the other Round Corner. So Random Tools kind of disperses things randomly by scale or rotation or position, depending on what you choose. And then Round Corner rounds corners. So
Yeah.
Are there any other big ones that you use like on your regular modeling basis, Justin?
Yeah, one of the ones that I've really fallen in love with recently is, it's a super simple tool, but it's so nice when you're kind of like pulling a bunch of things in from 3D Warehouse and everything's all over the place. But Material Tools, which I think is made by TomTom, I'm not entirely sure, but maybe Matt can drop a link to that. But Material Tools is really nice because you can basically select like anything in the model. Like if I wanted to take all this and basically like remove all of the like colors from this and like start from scratch with my own like colors and materials, that's really, really great. So like, I mean, for instance, like we've got like a bunch of like concrete going on. We've got, some like windows with transparency. Like it's got a bunch of different things going on here, but sometimes you just want to start from scratch and you can just remove all of the textures and colors from something. And considering that I'm competing against Aaron here, I'm probably not going to do that. But if I'm like pulling in a car for a model, or if I'm pulling in, like a plant and I want to like put my own like materials onto it, this is a really good way to kind of like strip the materials out of your model, make everything lightweight, Of course, like I would go into my model info here and like purge everything that isn't used, and all of a sudden you take a model that might be like multiple megabytes and you take it down to something that's like much more manageable because it's mostly just like the geometry now and it's not the material. So that is super helpful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good tip. So material tools, I dropped the link in the chat. Thanks for the question, Gonzalo. We just passed the 10-minute mark, folks. So definitely think of start wrapping up your designs. Maybe, I mean, it's up to you, but thinking about your visualization, where your screenshot is going to come from, how you're going to spruce up the model for a final last look. And Studio Articool says, speaking of material extensions, material replacer has been a big time saver for him. So that's a good one as well. Material replacer.
That's a great way to keep your file size reasonable, because it's a great way to put smaller files in, for sure.
Yeah, materials can, especially if they have PBR properties, can get pretty big. As Justin explores a couple different looks with environments here, we'll pop back over to Aaron and see where we're at. The planners coming together. That's a nice looking tree too.
Yeah, that was all 3D warehouse. I have some.
We should do another challenge that's like this, but you just have to model everything from scratch.
Hey, let us know in the comments if that sounds like fun or that hurts.
I just can't get the handle of this coffee mug right. It's driving me crazy.
Well, you're 35 minutes in. Move on.
Keep it moving.
I made some kind of random shapes over here and pulling them around and getting some fun geometry and material moves. So it's kind of cool. This is just enjoyable to do.
Whoa! It's like looking through a kaleidoscope.
Yeah. But that's going to give me a little bit of a dirt mound right there. You can kind of see that my tree's going to sit in. Just something a little bit different from just plopping on just a grass texture. Something I could do here too if I wanted to would be like, right at the edge, I might have like not so much grass. I might have more of a something like this. I'll come in here to my freehand and maybe I'll come, yep, I'm on the surface. So maybe I'll come in here with my freehand line and just do something like this along the edges. Nothing too huge, but maybe just something like that. And then
go ahead.
I can apply kind of a dirt texture to just that. And then it's going to make it look a little bit, maybe a little more realistic. And then I can grab this, come through here, and just get rid of all those edges there.
Yeah, totally. Freehand tool is a great way to introduce some randomness, especially when you're working in a landscape context. It's good to, make things look like they're in the real world. Obviously, computers will make stuff very orderly, but it's good to know how to make stuff a little more organic as well. So that's a good tip.
There we go. A little bit of dirt against the edge there.
Yeah, I like it.
6 minutes.
Yeah, coming down to it.
I don't know what else to put on here anymore. Maybe another planner.
Yeah, there's still time.
Surely.
Yeah, kick up the old feet and say, I'm calling it.
Job done, yeah.
All right, as we just passed the 6 minutes remaining. Oh, Justin's got some nice looking environment going on here. It looks very cozy.
I know. I love this environment in particular because it's just like you get the sky in the background, so it, you're not like getting distracted by like like a landscape or whatever. But the light is still nice and warm too. The sky sunrise 2K. This one is a gem. And now I'm just trying to figure out, I've put some concrete in here. I've put, some nice wood texturing on everything. It's looking nice. Just trying to figure out like, what I want the angle to look like, like what what are things going to look like? Do we want more of like an aerial, or do we want like something a little bit, close and tight on Helen, who's clearly like a very busy, cafe owner? I don't know.
I got stuff to do. I can't make your coffee. I got a phone call to take.
I'm taking a phone call right now.
Yeah, I know you're usually not a perspective guy, at least when it comes to final looks. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I know that Tyson will probably, kill me for this, but there's just something so nostalgic about the parallel projection. I think it comes from like all of these like roller coaster tycoon games that I used to play as a kid, where like
Okay.
everything is just in this view, and I don't know, it's just something about it that I just love. But not for this competition. We are sticking in perspective for this.
All right, Justin, I got a question for you.
Okay.
What's the most futuristic flower?
You're assuming that I know anything about flowers.
Let's try throwing you off again. I don't know anything about flowers either.
Let's see. I think it's going to be like an orchid that has been like, blended with a Venus flytrap, like a nice looking orchid, but it will still like capture all of your flies.
Wow.
I don't know. What do you think? Maybe you can put that in 3D Warehouse and find it, like a Venus flytrap orchid.
What about? I got a nice one here called orange flower.
Nice. That's my kind of taxonomy.
Ooh, it's like painted. I'm downloading it.
Ooh, painterly flowers.
Yeah, this might cost me the whole thing, but man, I like the way it looks.
Worth it.
Yep. I got to be me.
Got to be you.
Yeah, very good. Almost 3 minutes, just counting down to 3 minutes left. So definitely time for the final finishing touches, the polishing up. So as the time clicks down here, Aaron's working on some foliage, some 2D face me foliage coming in, and Justin's really just enjoying the look of his model.
I'm orbiting around. I feel like I'm satisfied with. I've got some big leafy plants in the corners here. I've got like a little bit of some open books, some donuts on a plate. I've got some laptops out and about. I've got my kind of coffee shop set up. It's got 2 scale figures in there, not just Tom, but 2. I fixed this arch. Great suggestion. And yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. I don't know how you're
don't
feeling, Aaron,
overcomplicate
but,
it. You're like Fonzie looking in the mirror with the comb. You're like,
hey,
I don't need it. I already look too good. Nothing else to be done here.
I'm not going to comb this.
Oh, Aaron with the model population here, bringing in some entourage of some.
I got a yoga lady.
Yoga lady.
Yeah.
It's a welcoming.
I mean,
2 people in to join her.
Yeah, I wonder how many more yoga people we got.
Randy says, "Looks like the barista quit suddenly." Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you got to take the call.
Yeah, we got to find a backup.
Yeah.
Get
Maybe
in here.
Tom is going to make his own coffee here.
That'd be nice. A make your own coffee shop.
Yeah.
Don't they do that with make your own pizzas? Very cool. Yeah. So Justin getting his final view together as Aaron scampers with 1 minute left to find some more yoga face me people.
I got this.
We got time.
Oh, that looks uncomfortable.
Oh my God. Yeah. If I would do that, I would never be able to get out of that position again.
That sounds fair. I think that's most yoga for me. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I'm there. I mean, I got my running water down my water thing. I got reflective-y concrete. I got rounded corners. I'm feeling pretty good. I got a statue. I got lighting. My lighting's not as futuristic as I want, but I keep reminding myself that 25 years from now, it's probably just going to be a different bulb.
I do really like the metallic texture on the structure that you've built there. That looks straight out of the future. That looks really, really cool.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's really what it comes down to is
it was machined out of a solid piece of gold.
which was grown in a lab in the future.
Yeah, lab grown gold, of course.
That's Gold's right. Everywhere.
Just grew into this shape, and they planted it, and it just grew.
All right,
hands off the keyboard.
Yeah, pencils down. Time is up. Great job, both. I like the kind of the cozy ending there. Not really too much of a race, but it was more just, contentedness, acceptance, perhaps.
Gentle landing.
Where they ended up. But yeah. So Justin, your model's up now. You want to talk about how you think it ended up? I know we were kind of talking through the design approach as you went along, but how do you think this fits in 2050?
Well, I mean, I think it's one of those things where, like, as soon as we hit the 30-minute mark, I was like, oh man, where are we going to go from this? Because I think the 500 square feet is just so small, and it does in hindsight feel a little cramped in here. But I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy. Like I feel like I took the base template. I've made some changes. I punched some holes into this wall for some windows. I've added like these. Whoa. Oh God. Oh no. I think I don't know what happened. Oh no, we're good.
We're back. Ooh. We are back.
Yeah, I shortened these windows here, added these doors that like are able to be open. So I think overall, I really wanted to make a space where, there's more light coming in. So maybe you have to rely less on these overhead lamps. You have the ability to kind of like open things up if it's a nice day outside. And then, in terms of materials, using a lot of like wood for this, so that it kind of has like I mean, who knows? In 2050, this might be like a very like rustic vintage look, like this looks like your nice Portland coffee shop now, maybe, but in 50 years, this might be like a throwback look.
It's a retro. It's like a 50s diner, but of the 2050s.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who knows? Maybe in 2050, there will not be, like any indoor plants anymore. And people will be like, wow, how nostalgic. An indoor banana leaf plants thing. But yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty good about this. I probably spent a lot of time, just pulling things in from 3D Warehouse once the like modeling was kind of wrapped up. But I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, totally. Let us know. I certainly like the environment with the ambient occlusion. Definitely brings it all together.
Yeah, I do. Good. I very much like those built-in benches. I like that you got that one continuous shape that goes from the floor, comes up, curves up over the top, and then especially that end one that wraps all the way around. That is very, very cool looking shape. I like that a lot.
Hey, yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, it's I'm not sure if it's structurally sound necessarily, but hey,
there's no gravity in SketchUp.
Super strong wood.
Yeah, the future engineers can worry about that.
It's a design challenge, not a building challenge.
Yeah. But I'm great suggestions with the nice coffee machine. We got some SketchUp logos on the plates. We got like some pastries.
Branded.
Like I'm feeling a little hungry right now, but these look like some really good pastries. So
that does look yummy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it's kind of what happened here.
Yeah, great work. Love to see it. So Aaron, you had a totally different space. From a landscape perspective, and how do you feel like it turned out?
It turned out pretty good. I tried to include every suggestion I got at the beginning. So we did have a yoga space, a statue, a water feature.
Those are the big three.
Yeah, those were what I had. So I wanted to get all those in there. I kept the basic layout and shape of the boardwalk. The planter here. There was another planter over here that I rounded off and turned into my waterfall. So this is my idea: is the water would pump up here and then come down here and just flow. So you always hear like a creek flowing. I'm picturing this as being something maybe in a city or something like that, but you still get that natural thing back in here. I really wanted this big tree. This was like the one thing that when I saw the template, I'm like, a tree goes here.
Yeah, and the 3D tree too is nice. I mean, if you turn your shadows on, you see how that like, just hits the space. That is just
Yeah.
beautiful. But I
Yeah.
think the
So
thing that
actually,
really impresses me about yours is how well you like change the like boardwalk so that it's perfectly rounded and everything lines up to everything else. Like you did a really nice job with that.
yeah, thanks. That was the one spot where I was like, that one board went one direction. I'm like, oh, it should go the other. Like, no, it shouldn't go the other direction. It's all. So yeah, that's why I did that first, because I was like, I got to do something with that. But yeah, this was kind of a fun little feature right there. Potentially, I mean, depending on how this is, maybe this goes all the way around. Maybe there's more park or something like that. But in our
Mhm.
500 square feet, one section around here. And then like we're kind of joking around about materials and looks, but you know, rounding stuff off as much as possible, giving things reflectivity, it just kind of gives that quick futuristic look, which in theory is all possible. This could be made out of concrete with some gold fleck in it or something like that. It could all really happen. But yeah, and then of course our statue in the corner.
Gotta
Yeah,
have it.
I
Yeah.
labeled mine or branded mine like Justin did his. So
Yeah. Hey, they paid the big bucks. We
that's
got it.
right. That's right.
But hey, also really nice job on the planter for the tree. I really like how you've like kind of rounded that corner. It looks
Yeah.
very modern. Very, very cool.
Yeah. And then we kind of mimicked the arch from the larger structure in here, just kind of tie everything together. Same materials, similar look there. But yeah, kind of I don't know. It's 25 years is kind of funny because I try to think back 25 years ago. I was just a kid at the time. But when I think back to that, I'm like, how much has changed in landscaping in the last 25 years?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. A whole lot has happened different. So I'm also not a landscape architect or anything near it. So you know, maybe I'm speaking out of turn there, but yeah, this was kind of fun. It's fun.
I was thinking though before we dove into this competition that like 2050 like seems like one of those things that's so far in the future, but like it's 25 years from now, like we're already halfway there from 2000,
Yeah.
which is just crazy to think about.
Yeah. Maybe we'll live stream in 2050 and just model what the park outside our houses looks like or something.
Yeah,
If
mark my
we
words, 25 years from today, we'll be back on SketchUp Live here.
I'm going to set a reminder. Hold on.
yeah, if we model every single week for the next 25 years, that will be 1,350 streams. You got it, Aaron.
I'm going to need some ideas, folks. Cool. Well, this is a fun one. I hope, I mean, I've been watching, seeing someone has scanned the QR code a couple times. That's awesome. I really hope to see some entries come in from the names of viewers of our live streams. You guys, I hope the winner is a live stream viewer. I'm biased, I know, but I really hope you guys get in there, get an entry posted, and I would love to see what you come up with, because it's fun. And you know what? Like I said, it's an hour over the next 2 weeks. You guys got that. Everybody's got an hour, right? You could put an hour in and maybe win $5,000.
Totally.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity to try out some of those extensions that we told you about, to put together a little bit of a mood board and, check out like the cool designs that are out there, and to have your hand at looking through 3D Warehouse, because there's so many gems on there that I feel like in an hour you can really put together something amazing.
Yeah, and get into 3D Warehouse, man. That's just, I know people go, oh, there's so much of this or that or whatever, but the search is getting better and better. There's more quality models than ever been before. So I
Live
highly recommend
components
it.
too, which neither
Yeah.
of us used in ours, which I thought that we were definitely going to use, but live components are such a game changer.
Yeah.
It's it's really nice.
Yeah, totally. And one thing we didn't use today on the stream, Justin, you had the mood board, but the 3D Warehouse has the reverse image search too. So you could have popped a couple of those images in there, see what the models come up with. So that's a nice.
I guess what we're saying is there's lots of tools out there, so this is not like a grind for 60 minutes. This is
no excuses.
Hey,
yeah,
skateboarding
go get it.
reference. Nice. Good job.
Grinding, like this sweet water feature straight down the side.
Or grinding like a coffee shop, it could be anything.
Oh,
my gosh,
boom.
bringing it all together.
Yeah.
Is that the name of your? Is that your name of the coffee shop? Is the grind?
The daily grind. Yes.
Love it.
Like it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we're pretty much wrapped
there.
up here. So, yeah, well, maybe I'll stick the models back on screen for one last look so we can all admire the work of our intrepid heroes today. So, Aaron got the landscape one, and Justin with the cozy coffee shop interior design sprint challenge. Check out the QR code above and enter yourself. Again, the due date is June 11th. That's the deadline. And there's also more details there about kind of what to include and what you need to submit and that kind of stuff. So certainly do that. And also join us next week because we'll be back here same time, same place wherever you're watching this for SketchUp Live next week as well. So yeah, I know Justin's going to be popping right down to the kitchen after this one. So
oh yeah, straight to the dessert shop. Let's do it.
Yeah, but I think that's all from us. So we appreciate you watching certainly, and we say have a great weekend.
See you next week, guys.